saying tomorrow in terms of tomorrow per the time I'm actually saying when tomorrow's gonna be, which is today. When did some good stuff happen for some Star Wars fans today, so pretty happy about that. This is totally worth talking about. They're bringing the Clone Wars back. I talk about this because even though I have not done a video or a review of the Clone Wars animation, I have seen it. Well, I've seen most of it, actually. I found this cheat sheet that was like, okay, here are all the Clone Wars episodes that are enjoyable and important, and you can skip the others. So I just watched what was on this cheat sheet, skipped the episodic stuff, which means I love 100% of what I've seen in the Clone Wars. Yeah, it's not lazy. It's just a smart way to go about life. But sadly, the Clone Wars animation was just canceled. It wasn't canceled as in, oh, you're canceled, so now please wrap it up, and they wrapped it up. It just ended. I mean, we know where it ends up, obviously, so you can argue that it does have a conclusion in Revenge of the Sith, but the path to getting there definitely has a large gap. So now they're doing a final season. I think that's great. When I see trailers like this, I try to put myself in the perspective of an audience member who's seeing it for the first time. So by the time I see it online, I know what it's titled, I know what it's all about. But if I was there in the audience and I heard, like, this is Commander Cody, and I see a helmet, I'd be like, what is this, a video game? Then when it says a war left unfinished until now, you're like, oh my god, they're bringing it back. There's actually a video of someone who had a camera in the audience while this trailer's playing, and at that moment, the crowd just goes bananas. And I'm happy the crowd gets to go bananas. I'm happy people get a conclusion for the Clone Wars. There are a few things worse than when a show you genuinely enjoy that doesn't deserve to get canceled gets canceled. I'm gonna pause here for a few seconds. Take it in. Still hurts. So now it gets a conclusion. The big reveal in the trailer is Anakin comes into this room. He's like, all right, Rex, what's so important you had us brought all the way back here? And you see the hologram of Ahsoka. She's a little older. She's like, hello, Master. It's been a while. I mean, she's a fan favorite. I thought Ahsoka was great. And the Clone Wars animation really did do its job in me believing that Anakin had an apprentice out there. And the Clone Wars animation also had to make Anakin's abrupt leap into the dark side believable for the fans. They shouldn't have had to do that. The movies should have taken care of that, but since the movies didn't, the animation did. I mean, it'll have to definitely at least touch on what happened to Darth Maul, right? Because when we left him in Clone Wars, he didn't actually have an ending to his arc. Then he showed up in Rebels, and you're like, what were you doing? And the only dabble we got was recently we found out, I guess he's dabbling in the criminal underworld, I guess? So how did he get there? I imagine this will show how he got there. So right there, I wonder how much of this new season of Clone Wars exists for the sake of tying Clone Wars into new Star Wars stuff. Like how much of it's going to tie into Rebels, how much is going to tie into Solo, how much is going to tie into, whatever. Whereas before, I felt like it existed to, show us what happened in the Clone Wars, but also make Anakin's turn more believable. So I hope they keep their eye on that prize and don't make it some big cross-promotional thing where Disney's like, all right, yeah, everything's linked to everything. I just want to keep it pure, just link into the movie. The catch is the fact that Clone Wars is going to stream on Disney's streaming service that they're coming out with. Which, when I heard about it and everyone heard about it, it's like, I have enough streaming services. Like, Disney's like, yeah, we totally get it. So what will get people to download this? Well, they're really clamoring for a final season of Clone Wars. We can make that happen. There might have been a statement out there, but nothing in this trailer at least says it's going to be one season. There could be a couple. Here's a twist, a plot twist, or at least a twist in execution. I figure the Clone Wars animation will lead up to Anakin and Obi-Wan like, we have to go to Coruscant because the Chancellor has been kidnapped. Then it leads into the beginning of Revenge of the Sith. Logical, right? But what if? What if that's the second to the last episode, and the last episode concentrates on all the soldiers? Then one soldier's like, hold on, General Jedi person, I have a phone call. Execute Order 66. Then there's more murder and mayhem. Maybe some Jedi generals are trying to escape and they get hunted down and shot. I'd like to see more Order 66 hunting, fallout, and murder. This is me. That's a pretty good reveal. In that bootleg version, you're hearing the crowd go nuts. I'm glad fans get this. I mean, hell, I'm interested. I'm also cheap as hell, so I guess I'll wait to watch it. But all I'm saying is now we know for a fact it is possible to bring voice actors back to reprise their roles for their characters for a show that's been canceled. If all you need's the voices, is it really impossible? Can we just have an animation? We can keep it going. Still hurts. So Star Wars, Clone Wars, it's coming back. Are you glad to hear the news? What do you think about it? Whatever you think, comment below. Let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.